Hey folks, well, it is, another vacation day, and I figured why not do a video while I'm here. I'm in the car, and I have nothing to do while I'm waiting for this windshield to defrost, so let's do a video. And since I have nothing really to talk about, let's just talk about what I'm watching. And I guess we can call this series, if it becomes a series, even though it's a single video, what I'm watching. So yesterday on Instagram, I made a post from like a clip from this show that I've been watching because of my sister, called Love After Lock-up. And can I just say, it's cray. Now, I watched the first season but this season is a little bit more intense, I guess we should say. And put on lip stuff on here because it's cold out here, really. That's why my windshield's like totally iced over, and I took the trash out, and I'm too lazy. Well, not even lazy. My hands are cold because I don't have gloves to do anything else. So let's talk about that. So it comes on every Friday on We, I think it is. If it's not We, I'll say what channel it is. And so the premise of the show is these people have prison pen pals, and they develop relationships, and then when people get out of prison, they decide they're going to continue this relationship. So last week, on Friday, we had 3 couples. I think total is 4 couples that are on the show. But the ones that I'm most interested in are Lizzie and whoever Lizzie's man is, and Caitlin and whoever Caitlin's man is. Caitlin's man's a prisoner. I can't remember his name to save my life. And then the other girl who is a former inmate, and her husband, or her prison pen pal, is Marcelino. And then there is finally a love triangle with the girl named Megan and Sarah and this guy named Mike. Now, Mike is the prisoner. Sarah is his wife who married him in prison. And Megan, he says, is his queen. So Megan is his queen, right? But he's not married to her. He's only engaged. So let me start driving since we're on Target to get books, because I forgot to get a Christmas present. And it's New Year's Eve. So let's talk about Caitlin and her man. Now, Caitlin, oh my God, I think she might have some mental problems, because her reactions to things are just the extreme. Like, I think she said that she's only been corresponding with the guy for 6 months, and he's been in and out of jail since he was 15. So she's so excited. She loves him. She wants to marry him. She thinks that he's the love of her life. And so she goes to pick him up, and they won't let her pick him up at the jail. They said they drop him off into the community. And then she flips out because she's like what the heyday is the community. Sorry about the bumping. It's a very bumpy back driveways, cobblestone. So, or no, brick. So she's flipped out about that. She finally sees him. They drop the guy off in the community, and really, I think what the problem was that she did not clear the cameras, and the prison was like, oh hell no, which I could totally understand. So she goes, and she finally picks him up and everything. So okay, so they're traveling. So she's purchased this cabin like that they can stay in because he lives with his mom, and that is the place he's supposed to go for his parole, which is fine. Like, I mean, I'm not expecting him to have a house or anything like that. So that's where he's supposed to go for his parole. So she doesn't like that, doesn't want their first night to be there, because she and he, because he's been in prison for I think 3 years, and he said that He was most excited about meeting Caitlin because he loved her so much and they could do sex. Now the test was done. He's been in prison. Not to say that, but you know, things, I've seen Lock-up. They say things happen there. I would want to be certain that I wasn't catching anything. But Caitlin, she was like all for it. Like, so he was like, oh my God, this cabin, it's so far away. When are we going to get there? And she's like, I think his name's Mike. Oh, Mike, soon. We're going to get there soon. You know, I think it's about time that we thought about pulling over and stopping. And he was like, pulling over and stopping? Where? Oh, right here by the side of the road. We can go in the woods and whatnot. Like, in the woods? So, she literally, now mind you, they're on camera. And they go in the woods. And then this is what struck me. And this is what I posted on Instagram. It says that she is 32 years old, right? She's 32. She is employed as an administrative assistant. It does not say that where she works. It doesn't say where she works. But by golly, this is a national show. In syndication, it will be an international show. And you're like doing the do with a prisoner. Well, he's not a prisoner. He served his time. A former inmate in the woods in broad daylight, and the camera people are capturing the whole thing. She cannot still have a job. The only way she has a job is if she worked for family, because I don't see how she still has a job. I mean, like, how? So they go back in there and they do whatever and come back out, and it actually happened. He was saying, oh, it was so dirty back there, bugs and blah blah blah, you know, but I'm so glad, and I gave her the best 2 seconds of my life. And oh my God, it was crazy. So then they finally get to the cabin, and I'm sorry I see snuffling, but it's not really snuffle. I had allergies. I don't have a cold, so which it would be gross. So then they get to the place, the cabin, and you see them next morning, the day after type scene, and you find out that they had unprotected sex. So this will be twice. She says she wants to get pregnant by him, but she don't want to get married right away because he lives with his mom. He's gonna be living with his mom, and she wants to make sure he's not going back to jail. Shouldn't that have been a consideration you thought of before you gave yourself to him? I'm just wondering. But no, that was not a consideration. So, yeah. So that's the first couple. And then there was like, oh, Marcelino, and I forgot his girlfriend's name. The girlfriend was a former inmate. She just got out. Like, she's just been out for like, I want to say less than 10 hours. And all of a sudden you realize that Marcelino is abusive. He took her food away like she was 7, said, hey, you're done eating your salad. Here's your main course. She's like, I'm still eating that. He's like, not anymore. He was upset because he wanted her to, like, he's a former Marine. Nothing against the Marines, because I'm wondering how long Marcelino was in, or if he got kicked out for mental issues, because he's a little crazy. But anyway, he was upset with her because she could not tell him exactly, like, you know, what she wanted to do in her life and what she saw in her future. Now, meanwhile, he's 40 and she's like, I think in her 20s. She has a kid. Like, she's got a lot of stuff going on, and she's been to jail, I think, twice for I want to say robbery or stealing a car and going across state lines. But she's been in jail twice, and he's like trying to force her to say, I mean, really what he wants her to say is what she sees, where she sees herself in 5 years is with him, having his babies, barefoot and pregnant, and out of jail. But she can't seem to say that, because what she says is, I want to be happy, I want to have a fulfilled life, which is all reasonable things until you come up with a specific plan. But she says, I want to have a fulfilled life. I want to be free. Oddly, she never mentioned her child once, but whatever. I want to be free, and I want to be happy. And he's like, that's not good enough. And she's like, what do you mean that's not good enough? Asked you a question. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. So he gets mad, tells her, he was like, I'll explain it further if you just shut up. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna be quiet. And she's like, I'll let you, go ahead, I'll let you keep talking. So he's like, are you listening to me? Are you listening? And she's like, yes. Well, no, you're not, because you're still talking. I was like, ooh, oh. And she's like, I'm not going to have you talk to me that way. I'm going back up to the room. I would not have gone back up into their room, because he seems like somebody who would whoop somebody's behind. And what's funny is, he has her doing all these things that clearly violate her parole. Like, he's like, oh, you can't drink, that's no fun, that's no fun, that's no fun, but these are her rules. And she seemed like she was okay with them, but he was okay with breaking them. He seems like the type of guy who would have you do all these things and then turn you into your parole officer when you broke up with his ass. I see this in her future. So it's crazy. But they left it at that. She was going to go back up in the room, and I was like, girl, don't go up. Like I said, mind you, they're in Las Vegas, and she's not really supposed to be around that type of stuff. It's not a good environment for her, and he just seems not to care. So, and she went back up to the room, and I'm like, I wasn't going up to that room. Is there anybody? You got some friends, some family you can stay with? Because she's actually, I don't know, I think she violated her rule, so she's actually done. So she doesn't have to be at a specific place, which is how she ended up at this hotel with him. Oh my God, but it's ridiculous. And then finally, there's this other couple who I cannot remember their names. Maybe I'll do better next time. I need to write notes. But this guy is getting fleeced. The chick got out, like, first of all, no shade to people's teeth, but I am missing one. I have an implant that I have not replaced the crown to, and so I can't talk about people having jacked up teeth. But this chick came out of prison. Like, first of all, her pictures, like, were catfish, because her pictures on the pen pal site were so, like, professional looking. Her teeth look good and everything. They photoshopped the hell out of those pictures. She came out there with two-tone hair, which is fine because she's in prison. Her hair was blonde. Her hair is brown in real life, and then, or naturally. And she came out of prison with orange teeth. I'm like Crayola, like she'd been chewing on an orange crayon. It was ridiculous. But he was happy. He loved her. He was so excited. She spent $1,000 in less than 8 hours. He bought her a dress, he bought her lingerie, he bought her all these products. He did her hair, for the trim, the wash, trim, straighten, and color, which was, I'm like, where are you? Which was $280. No, $350 with the added services. But I was like, oh my God, that's so expensive. And his mom had given him a credit card and told him not to go wild, that it's not for this girl, it's for you, for emergencies. And this man spent $1,000 in less than 8 hours. And they're supposed to get married the next day. And I just have a feeling that he's going to be sitting out there chilling at the altar waiting for her, because she is like taking him for all his money. It's ridiculous. Get the place in order. So he's like, she's taking him for all his money, and I feel so bad, because clearly I don't know what his issue is. I don't know if he has like some type of disability, or if he is a recovering addict and therefore his brain is a little addled. But he is like, he doesn't get it. He's been married 3 times. Clearly, like, his mom is in charge of his finances. And I'll give it up to her. She lets him make his own decisions, spend his money as he sees fit, because I know she realizes that this is a problem. But she put him on a budget, which he's blowing. And I wonder if his parents have money, because their house is really nice. But then I think they live down south, and you can have a nice house and not necessarily be rich. So not like up north. But yeah, so she's taking all his money, and I feel so bad for him. Yeah, so that's pretty much Love After Lockup. This is actually the second season. The first season was like off the chain too, but yeah. People wonder why I watch this stuff. It is very diverting. It's humorous. Like if you have something going on, like, you know, stress from work or stuff and stuff like that, like I don't like to watch or read anything heavy because it makes my brain hurt because I think all day. I mean, most people think all day, but sometimes I have to do complex things. Maybe that can be a video. Things to do to relax when your job is not relaxing. Hold on for a second. They're cheap and don't cost any money. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. The emphasis being on cheap and don't cost any money. So, but yeah, like sometimes this mindless TV is like good. Like I was talking to somebody and we were talking about the writer's strike and the rise of reality television, and she was lamenting the fact that, hey, there's no good writing in America anymore, which is true. There are very few well-written original programs now. Like I would say that it appears to be there's more coming. Like I see different things on TV now, but then the viewership has changed, so people have like lowered expectations. So like you have those like for instance, you have a lot of reality TV of various sorts because it's cheap to make and you don't have to pay for a set, and you're not and the people who are participating aren't getting paid or aren't getting paid a whole bunch. And then you have a lot of these formulaic crime shows like NCIS, CSI. I don't think CSI is even on anymore. And SVU, which I think they need to take the hell off. I'm not even going to lie. I love Mariska Hargitay, but I mean, I feel like, I mean, I'm happy that, like, you know, Olivia Benson has her role has been expanded and everything like that. But I mean, I look at it and I'm just like, it's like the last year of NCIS with Ted Danson, which was very good, I think, for what it was, but it was different from what the original season was like. And like the original when like it was like each iteration it got sillier. I think the last season there was one about dead Santa. Yeah, Ted Danson was silly, and like the Mariska Hargitay, it's like they got rid of, like, there's no more Munch, there's no more Stabler, and not that you need male characters, but she needs somebody else to bounce off of besides Ice-T. I just can't. And I never really was a fan of, I liked NCIS, but then that's over. Well, it's not over, but they got rid of all the people that I like. And then what about Michael Weatherly? Yo, that was crazy. And he was one of my faves, but I think all faves are problematic nowadays. You can't have a fave because they're going to have a Me Too complaint or lock their kids in their car or some jazz like that. So, all right, so, oh yeah, so we're just going back real quick to complete my thoughts. There's a lot of reality television, and I think people like scripted shows, but there's a place for reality in today's world where there is so much work stress because of so much uncertainty. I mean, just look at it. Like, even a relatively secure job, let's say you work for the government, relatively secure job, and here we are in the government shutdown. Like over a wall. So, and then I'm not even going there because I don't even want to talk about that here. But I'm just saying, something that's relatively secure is very insecure based on the actions of others, and therefore sometimes you need something to unwind. So there might be probably more videos about reality TV shows, or there may be some scripted stuff because I do watch a lot of that too. But I don't know. I find that most people don't watch what I watch, and therefore, you might find it interesting what I have to share because you may want to watch it. You just might want to watch it. So, and then I have nothing else to do to talk about. Like, I could do my hair, but that's about it. All right, so have a good day. I have no outro. It's just what it is. And why don't you share with me what you're watching? Maybe I'll check it out because I have not endless time, but I have time to watch new programs. I'm always looking for new things, and I tend to binge, so I tend to have gaping holes in my viewership while I wait a year for a new season to come out. So share with me what you're watching. I may want to watch it.